Hello, how are you? How are you? Are you there? Okay, so let's begin. And now, please, you have to go to your notes and try to go to your notes, please, and try to situate in your page number. Page number. My God. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So go there. Now we are in the exercise part, page number 3, and we need to revise this exercise. This is a very interesting exercise, and it's very important for you to try to understand it. Okay, to try to understand it. So we have here some parts of the eye. This in English this is called the eyeball, la bola del ojo, the eyeball. Okay, and these are parts that you have to label on this drawing. So there are some things that could be difficult, but not so much. So, for example, we're going to label this suspensory ligament. Okay, and this ligament look like strings that are supporting the eye. Okay, in this case, it's supporting the lens. So, suspensory ligament, take notes, is this part here. Suspensory is called this way because there is something that is hanging from it. This blue part, we know this is the lens. Okay, this blue part is hanging by this ligament. This ligament. This is not a muscle. Okay, this is not a sinew, a tendon. This is a ligament. Okay, so this and this. These are the suspensory ligaments. So you have to put here suspensory ligament. Okay. Now next, very easy. It's a very important part of the eyeball. Okay. Try not to say hello today. Okay. Try not to say hello. Just stay focused and try to correct this part. This is a very important part. Normally, in every exam, natural science, you have to label the parts of the eye. Okay, so be attentive here. So lens in English is what in these terms in Spanish we call it cristalino. Okay, okay. So lens, an oval ball. No, no cristalino. Let's call it. I can't remember now. No, it was a mistake of mine. I can't remember the name now. So lens is this part. Is this blue part. This blue part is called lens. Okay, this is lens. So here, according to this, pointing out this arrow is lens. You have to write down here lens. Okay, good, very good. Then we have cornea. In the Spanish is the same. In the Spanish, cornea is the same. This is the outer layer at the front. So cornea is this part. So when you put a man-made lens on your eye, you are putting on your cornea. Okay, on your cornea. This is the cornea. So the correct arrow is this, and you have to write down here. You have to write down here. Can you hear me? Can you? No? Can you hear me? My God. Sorry, this. So I can't. This is maximum. So now I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. Got to be attentive. Please be attentive and make the most of our time. Okay? So be attentive to me. Okay? Good. So remember, cornea is that part here. That part here is cornea. Okay? This is cornea. And you have to label it, this name. You have to write down this name, cornea, below this arrow here. Okay? Good. Then we have another part. This is the sclera. Sclera is the outer layer, la capa externa, outer layer at the back. So this is the back, and this part here, this white part here, is called sclera. And take notes, because in Spanish we call it with a different name. We call it esclerótica. Esclerótica, tal como suena, esclerótica, esdrújula, con tilde en la O. But in English is sclera, okay? Sclera. Sclera, this is the outer layer, and this is this part, and in this front part, this is called cornea. This is cornea, and this part here is sclera. And the correct arrow is this. You have to take this arrow here, and you have to write down sclera. Sclera. Okay, let's go. Retina or retina. Okay, some people say retina, some people say retina. Okay, retina. Most people say retina. Okay, so retina is the inner layer at the back of the eye. So the inner layer. These are very important because here can be found the sense terminals. Okay, so this part here is the retina, is the back of the eye, and this part as well. Remember, retina has two different kinds of nerve cells, nerve terminals, rods, okay, and cones. Rods are responsible for darkness or brightness, and cones are responsible for colors. So you have here, related to this arrow, you have to write here, okay, on this part, retina. Then we have the optic nerve. So remember that retina is able to change the light energy that enters through the pupil here to the back of the eye. This is light energy, and this is changed into electrical impulses, electrical energy. And these nerves, this is the optic nerve, is the one that carries these impulses to the brain. So the correct arrow is here. This is the arrow you got to use to write down optic nerve here in this part. Okay, in this part. Remember, finishing ciliary muscle. Okay, ciliary muscle connects to the suspensory ligaments. Okay, so these are the suspensory ligaments, you remember, and this is the ciliary muscle, el músculo ciliar. This is the one that allows us to move our eye. Okay, imagine you have your head in a position, you don't move, but you can move your eyes, okay, up and down, right and left, and you can do that because of this muscle. Okay, this muscle. So this is the ciliary muscle. So, and this is the correct this here, can you see my arrow? This is the arrow you have to use to write below ciliary muscle. Finishing, we have iris. Remember, iris is something you can see in every eye, and maybe my iris is a different color from yours. Okay, in my case, I have a brown iris, but some of you have a blue iris, a brown iris, dark brown or green or whatever. Okay, iris, and the iris is this part here. This is the iris. This is one part. This is a muscle. Okay, a muscle, and this is the other part. So the correct arrow to write down this name is this. So pointing, this arrow has to write iris here. And remember, iris is something we have in the front of our eye with a color. And finally, pupil. Pupil is a gap in front of the lens. So this is the lens. This is called cristalino in Spanish. Okay, cristalino. In Spanish we call it cristalino. Very important. But in English, this is a lens. Same name as a man-made lens, artificial lens you put before your eyes to better to see, whatever. Okay, so this is the arrow in front of which you have to write down pupil. This is the gap. You need this gap to allow the light to enter, okay, all the way through the eye and to reach the retina. Okay, you have light energy that is entering here, and then when it hits your retina, your retina is able to transform this light energy into electrical energy. The moment the retina turns this light energy into electrical energy, this moment, this is a nervous impulse that goes all the way along the optic nerve to the brain. Okay? Good. I think you can follow this exercise. This is very important exercise. Now, number 6, you have here, read these 2 interesting facts about sight and answer the question. Sight is the name, the English name for our Spanish vista, as a sense. We call it the sense of sight, sentido de la vista in Spanish. Okay, so 2 interesting facts about sight. So, the image perceived by the eyes is at first upside down and 2-dimensional. So look here. You can see here. This is a person's eye, okay, and this is a person's brain. Okay, and this person is looking at this tree. Okay, so what we see is reflected light. So the light that is reflected by this tree enters the eye. Okay, enters through the pupil and goes all along, all the way up to the retina. Okay, and you have here. But in this moment, the retina is able to perceive this tree upside down, okay, and 2-dimensional. That's why you need 2 eyes to see things in 3 dimensions. We need 2 eyes to perceive things in 3 dimensions, okay? Because with only 1 eye, people that unfortunately only have 1 eye perceive things just in 2 dimensions. They can perceive the space, okay? So that's why we need 2 eyes. And here on this retina, we don't see anything, but this image is here upside down. And then here in our retina, our specialized cells, rods and cones, are able to turn this light energy into electric impulses. And these impulses go all the way, all along the optic nerve to the brain, in this back part of the brain. Okay, remember, this person is looking to the left, okay, in this back part of the brain. Our brain interprets this image, and our brain says, okay, this is a tree, but this tree is in the normal position, not upside down. Okay, good. Let's follow, and then we say that info, this information, that info must be sent to the brain. This info, okay, they are talking about this tree upside down, must be sent to the brain for processing into a correct three-dimension physical image. Okay, so that three-dimension holographic image is what we call physical reality. So maybe in this moment, if you are attentive, you are looking at the screen. So you are looking at the screen in the correct position, but your retina takes this screen upside down, and only your brain is able to interpret correctly. And you can say, yes, this image is in the normal position. Okay, so, and this is the rest of the exercise. Why do we say that we do not see with our eyes, but with our brain? And can anybody tell me anything about that? Why do we say that we don't see with our eyes, but with our brain? Is anybody attentive there? Can anybody put something, anything on the chat here? Anybody? Why do we say that we do not see with our eyes, but with our brain? Why we say that? Waiting for you. Why do we say that? We say that we don't see with our eyes, but with our brain. In essence, because the brain is what see. Rather, because the brain is what interprets the image that we are seeing. Okay. You look at me, the screen. You can see me in the right position, but your retina sees me in the upside down. Okay. Okay. So your retina have many cells, many nervous terminals that are able to turn this image, okay, this light energy into electrical impulses. Okay. And Rodri writes, because nothing we can use the image and don't understand, there is no use. Oh, I think I can understand you. In English, please, Pablo. Maybe it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you are wrong. It doesn't matter, but try in English, okay? So, Celia says, because the brain interprets the image. Okay, very good, very good. This is the correct answer. Okay, so now please let's go to the text part. Okay, let's go to the text part, and you have there the new sense, the sense of smell. Sense of smell. This is the second sense we are studying. So, and this is a very interesting sense, and to better understand this kind of sense, you have to understand the word chemistry. Okay, chemistry. So the sense of smell is a chemical sense. A chemical sense. It detects chemicals in the environment, which means that we detect something that is a gas. Gas. We can only smell gases. We can smell solids. We can smell liquids. We only smell gases. gases, and these gases are sending chemicals in the environment. When these chemicals enter our noses, they are detected by this part here. Okay, these are the nervous terminals of the sense of smell, and they are sent to the brain. So that's why we call the sense of smell a chemical sense. So smell and taste often work together. When you are tasting something, we're going to see that in another day, when we are tasting something and we say, okay, this tastes good, we are mixing smell and taste. Okay, so very often work together. So the organ for the sense of smell is our nose. Remember, our eye for the sense of sight, our nose for the sense of smell. And we have here the parts of the nose. And the text reads, the nose has two holes called nostrils. Nostrils. We have two. These two holes, all we have, okay, is are part of the nose, and they are nostrils. Okay, in Spanish we call them, creo recordar, cavidad nasal, ¿vale? Cavidad nasal, nostrils. The nostrils and the nasal passages are separated by a wall called the septum that is made of cartilage. So this is the septum. Okay, you don't have here the name, but this is the septum. This is a cartilage. Okay, cartilage is like a bone, but is really flexible. Bones are brittle, are hard, but they are not flexible. Cartilage are flexible. Okay, good. So the inside of the nose is lined. Lined is in English is something that you put in the inner part of anything. So imagine my shirt. The lining of my shirt is this part inside. Okay, this is my shirt. You can see, but inside this is the lining. Okay, can you see my brown lining? So the same here. The same here. So these are our nostril or nasal passages, and they are lining with mucous membrane, mucosa, membrana mucosa. This is a layer, mucous membrane, and this membrane is very important because this membrane warms up the air and moistens it, which means in Spanish, calienta el aire y lo humedece. Okay, imagine people now these freezing days, when you are inhaling air, maybe below zero degrees, and you have to carry all this air to your lungs, to the inner part of your lungs, and the temperature is really low. So this part here, the inner part of our nose is with a lining that is able to warm up the air, okay, and to moisten it. Moisten means humedecer, and this is very important because imagine you have here a particle of dust or anything, okay. This particle can go all the way up to your lungs, because that would be very dangerous. So you have here this lining, okay, with the aim to get this particle stuck on it. Okay, we are producing all time, okay, every minute we are producing new layers of this membrane, mucous membrane. Okay, and inside the nose there are the hairs that can trap large particles. So hairs, you have here hairs, okay, that keep many particles, that are large particles, from entering the nose. Okay, and finally, this second paragraph, mucosa, Celia. In Spanish we call it mucosa. En Spanish we call it mucosa, mucous membrane, es la membrana mucosa. Y nosotros decimos, cuando decimos solamente una palabra, decimos mocos. Mocos viene de mucosa. Okay, good. Now, last paragraph here. Up on the roof of the nasal cavity is the olfactory epithelium. This part here, okay? This part here, but not this part, okay? This part here. This part is inside our brain, okay? But this outer part inside the nose, okay? Not the brain, but the nose, okay? Underneath this this bone that belongs to the cranium, we have the olfactory epithelium that contains special receptors. This is not the retina. This is called olfactory epithelium or pituitary. They are very small and are sensitive to odor molecules that travel through the air. Okay, so this is what you need to know about the parts of the nose. And then, finally, how the sense of smell works. Pay attention. First, remember, we need something to smell. Okay, but you can smell anything as long as this thing is able to emit particles, and these particles are in the gas, and they enter your nasal cavity. Okay, they enter your nasal cavity, and this part that are chemicals or molecules, molecules, they ended up here in this part. This is the olfactory terminal, and from here they go to this part of the brain. Remember, in this part we have the terminals of the optic nerve, okay, sense of sight. But this part in the side of our brain is the part that interprets the smell. Okay, so pay attention. So we smell when we odor molecules, chemicals floating in the air, reach the nostrils and dissolve in the mucus. Okay, so these are the aromatic substance, good or bad odors, doesn't matter, that moment, that enter our nose, and they are fixed here. And here they hit on the nervous terminals, and these nervous terminals are able to transform this chemical energy into electrical energy. And this electrical energy constitutes the nervous impulse that goes until the end here in this part of the brain. When these nervous impulses reach this part of the brain, we are able to interpret smells. Good. So underneath the mucus, in the olfactory epithelium, this part here, specialized olfactory receptors, neurons, detect the odor and transmit the information to the brain. Okay. So this is this part, okay, and we're going to finish this this class here. But before as a homework for tomorrow, you have to for tomorrow, for the next day, we're going to study natural science. You have to do the exercises 7 and 8 with the page number 4 in your exercise part. Okay, remember, tomorrow we are studying social science, but next day you got to be prepared to correct these two exercises. Okay, so this is the end of our class today, and thank you for your attention. And remember, this maybe this afternoon, I don't know if before lunch or after lunch, I don't know exactly now, you're going to receive a new email with a new work sheet about maths, and a reminder of your exercises in social science. Remember, all of you have to be prepared to send me, or to show me, or to tell me that you did your PowerPoint presentation about a Spanish artist, okay, of the 19th century. Remember that, okay? Remember that. I'm waiting for some of you, okay? You don't have to send me obligatory, okay, compulsory, okay, but you have to do it. Very good. So now, please, thank you.